Hi, Room 15. It is Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. So we are continuing our multiplication unit, and we're going to be composing arrays from rows and columns. So our learning targets are: we can use multiplication strategies to solve multiplication problems. We can compose arrays from rows and columns. The word compose means to create. And then we can count the total in an array using objects. So remember, compose means to create. So we are going to be creating or composing arrays from rows and columns. So what is an array? An array is a set that shows equal groups of objects or pictures organized into rows and columns. So let's review rows and columns. An array is a set that shows equal groups of objects or pictures organized into rows and columns. So rows, remember, go from left to right or side to side, but we're going to call those lines horizontal lines, okay? And then columns go up and down, but the direction that the columns are is vertical. So rows are horizontal, and then columns are vertical. So let's take a look at this picture. How many bears are in each group, and how many groups are there? So there are two groups. Each group has 3 bears. So there are 2 groups of 3. So how can we arrange the bears so that our groups of 3 are in rows? So right now, this is an equal groups picture that is showing 2 groups of 3. So we want to change our picture to show equal rows. Remember, rows go left to right or horizontal. So we would arrange the bears like this. So this is an array showing 2 rows of 3. And remember, rows show a horizontal line. So now, what do you notice about the rectangular array we just created? So take a minute before I show you. What do you notice about the array? So some things you could have noticed include there are the same amount of bears in each row. The rows are straight lines that go side to side or left to right. We call lines that go from left to right horizontal lines, if you remember that. Each row is a group of 3. And the array still shows 2 groups of 3, just like the picture before. So why is the array called a rectangular array? If you notice, the shapes are organized into rows, but it also creates kind of like a rectangular shape. So it's called a rectangular array because you arrange the objects into a rectangular shape. Sometimes you can also arrange it into a square, but most of the time, depending on how many objects you have, they will be organized into a rectangle. So what if we arrange this array into columns? So let's take a look. Remember, this was our array that showed 2 rows of 3. So we want to change it so that we see columns. Remember, columns go up and down, or they are vertical lines like this. So rows are horizontal, like the first array, and then we changed it into columns, which are vertical lines. So actually, if you notice, even though the bears are arranged differently, there are still groups of 3. So there are groups of 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and it's just organized into rows. And then this array shows groups of 3 still. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But this case, there are rows, and then this array has columns. But it's the same amount. They all have 6 total bears and 2 groups of 3. So let's try again. Let's look at the stars. So I should have 12 stars. Think about, how can we put the stars into equal groups? How can we create equal groups using the 12 stars in the picture? So what are some of the ways we can create equal groups using the 12 stars? Well, there's a lot of ways. Let's look. You could do groups of 2, groups of 3, groups of 4, or even groups of 6. So that means you could do 2 in each group, or 3 in each group, or 4 in each group, or 6 in each group. But let's use groups of 2 for now. So how many groups of 2 can we make? Well, let's try. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we made 6 groups of 2. So how can we arrange the 6 groups of 2 stars into a rectangular array? So as you notice, this is not an array. This is just 12 stars, and then we have equal groups that are, the circles created are equal groups. So this, my friends, is not an array because we do not see even rows or columns. So now we want to arrange it and compose an array. Remember, compose means create. So I can make an array with 6 rows of 2. Remember, the rows go horizontal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just had to make sure there are 6. So 6 rows of 2, or we can create an array with 6 columns of 2. Oh, sorry, my friends. This should say columns. Sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at what you're going to be doing today. So let me just share with my iPad real quick. Okay. Okay, so here we go. This is just an example of what you're going to be doing on Seesaw today, okay? So we're going to see groups or pictures, and then it's going to tell us how many we need to circle in each picture to create equal groups, and then we're going to redraw the pictures into equal rows or columns. So take a look at question number 1. It's saying circle groups of 5. Then draw the clouds into 2 equal rows. So I want to count 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's telling me to draw them into 2 equal rows. So I have group 1 right here. Oopsie, sorry. Group 1 right here. Group 2 right here. I have 5 in this group, 5 in the second group. So I'm going to draw 5. You don't need to draw clouds. You can just do X's. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have my row 1 right here, which is 5, and that's right here. And then I have row 2 right here, which is right there. Okay, so now let's do number 2. Circle groups of 4. Redraw the groups of 4 as rows and then as columns. So I need to circle groups of 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1, 2, 3 groups of 4. So now I'm going to draw rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need to draw my columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, rows go this way, so I should have 1, 2, 3. Then columns go the other way, up and down, or vertical. 1, 2, 3. All right, I have 3 groups right here. So I'll have 3 groups in each array of 4. Okay? Now let's keep going. So question number 3 says circle groups of 4. So we're doing groups of 4 again, and then you're going to draw them into rows and columns to create an array. So I need to circle 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 4. So each row should have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need to have 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So can you see my 4 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And then my columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's keep going. So now this is the tricky part. Please pay attention, okay? So number 4, count the objects in the arrays from left to right by rows and by columns. As you count, circle the rows and then the columns. I would suggest, my friends, to use different colors for rows. So I'm going to use red for rows, and then I will use blue for columns. So it's telling you to look at this array right here, okay? Then you need to circle your rows first. So remember, rows go this direction, columns go, oops, wrong color, this direction. Okay, so I'm going to do my rows first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you have 3 in each row. Okay, and then you need to count the columns. Okay, you're going up and down or vertical. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you have 5. Let me type. So we have 5 rows of 3 or 3 columns of 5. Okay? So you don't have to write this. I'm just writing it to show you. Okay, my friends? So now let's go to question 4B. You're going to do it again. Circle your rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then change colors, and you're going to do your columns. 1, 2, 3. So I have 4 rows of 3 or 3 columns of 4. Okay? But it's still the same amount no matter what. If you do rows or columns, it's the same amount. Okay? Now, let's go to question number 5. Please pay attention because this can be tricky. So it says, redraw the smiley faces and triangles in problem 4 as columns of 3. Okay, so you have to do 2 different pictures. First, it's saying to do the smiley faces. So I'll put the smiley faces over here, and then I'm going to draw a line, and then you need to do the triangles over here. So you have to do 2 different arrays. One for the smiley faces, one for the triangles. But it's saying to do columns of 3. Remember, columns go this way. Okay? And right now, it's columns of 5 because as you can see, there's 5 in each column. Okay? So I want to flip it. I want columns of 3. And if you see, you want 15 in all. So I'm just going to use X's, okay, because it's faster. So columns of 3 means 3 in each column. And you should have 15 total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. This is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So do you see how it's different? Now I have columns of 3. I have 5 columns of 3 now. So let's take a look at the triangle, okay? Triangles. Remember, your columns should look like this, okay? And it looks like right now I have columns of 4 in that triangle array. But now they only want 3 in each column, okay? And that array only has 12 triangles, okay? So you want to redraw columns of 3 using 12 total triangles. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and that is your array. Okay, now number 6, draw an array with 20 triangles. So you want to make sure that you can either have equal rows or columns. Remember, rows go like this. Okay, and then columns, you can do a different array using columns. So first I'm going to focus on my first array. You want to have 20 triangles in all. You can just draw X's, it's fine, okay, because it's faster. So I'm going to draw, if you want, you can use triangles, that's fine, okay? So I'm going to do, for 20, you could do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I could have also done groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should have been 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. This could have been my array for question number 7. Okay. But if I want, I could do a completely different array. I could do columns now. Okay. I could do columns of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my friends, the important thing is when you're creating an array that the rows are equal or the columns are equal. They should have the same amount in each. Okay, so let's take a look at what you're going to be doing today for Seesaw. Okay, so you're going to be doing the assignment that's called Compose Arrays from Rows and Columns. So I'm a sample student. Okay, so let's take a look. These are the directions. Click the Add Response button. Use a pencil or a pen tool to draw pictures or fill in the blanks. Read the directions next to each problem to answer the questions. Click the green check when you are done to submit your assignment. Okay, so remember what I just did. You need to use the pencil tool to circle the objects depending on how many it tells you, and then redraw them right here. You can draw triangles if you want, or you could just draw X's, okay? So remember, you need to check how many it tells you. For example, this is telling you groups of 4. So you should be circling groups of 4. Sorry, you can't see that. Let me use the pencil tool. Groups of 4. Okay, and then you redraw it over here as either triangles, your choice, or just do X's. Same thing with number 2, circle groups of 2 this time. Okay, and then you need to do rows, which is right here, and then columns, which is right here. Same thing with question 3, but this time you're doing groups of 3. Okay, now question number 4. Remember what I said. Use one color for the rows, and then maybe use a completely different color for columns when you're circling, okay? So it's telling you to circle rows and then columns. So use different colors so you don't get mixed up. Question 5, redraw the circles and stars in problem 4 as columns of 2. So that means that your columns will go this way, but you want 2 in each column. Because right now, take a look at the columns, like in the circles. There are not 2 in each column. So you need to redraw it in columns of 2. Okay? Same with the stars. Question number 6, draw an array with 15 triangles. So you want to draw an array for number 6 and then something completely different for number 7. So maybe in number 6, you figure out how many would go in each row, and then number 7, put the same amount, but in columns. So maybe you might put like 3 in each row, but then here in number 7, you could put 3 in each column. Okay, remember, it needs to be a total of 15 triangles. So you need to keep going, okay? Or maybe you want to do like rows of 5. That's another choice, okay? Sorry, these X's are not that great, but just try your best, right? Okay, my friends, so once you're done with that, you need to click the check when you are done. All right, good luck.